My dear students, you all warmly welcome for the lesson on creating organization structure under the main topic called organizing. I'm Dr. Michelle from Department of Human Resource Management. Now we are going to discuss about organizing function. So under organizing functions, basically we are discussing uh, three important topics called creating organization structure, managing human resources, as well as under creating and managing groups and teams. So actually this presentation comprised with very important key things that you have to take into account. So I kindly request from you to clearly pay your attention for this, and it is highly needed. So because we have to cover this recording taking only 1 hour. So I'll be discussing very important key things which should take into account for the examination. So creating an organization structure. So after we decided or design goals and objective and the plans to achieve those goals and objective, it is highly required to group people and activities. So creating organization structure is simply how best we can group people and activities. If even though we have formulated goals and objective, but if we are not grouping people to achieve those goal and objective, if we are not grouping activities to achieve those goal and objective, finally it create an utter mess. So therefore, organization structure basically shows the reporting relationship between job position. So therefore, when we think about our family also, there is a hierarchy, there is a structure starting from tata, then amma, then elder brother, then the middle one or the youngest one. Likewise, there is a structure. So basically, this structure helps for decision making process, for effective decision making process, because if you know who is my boss, who are my co-workers, who are my direct reports, then eventually it is easy for us to make decisions. So if we face any difficulty or a problem, so easily we can refer, we can convey, or we can get an idea, advice from our supervisor or a co-worker. So knowing who are co-workers, knowing who are direct reports, who can be used to get the work done through what we have assigned, as well as direct reports, as well as supervisor or a superior or an immediate boss, is really important to complete the task activities assigned in your job. So let's start creating organization structure. So can a single person do all tasks in an organization? Obviously it is impossible, because even though we are really talented, but we know for every human being on this earth, the very limiting factor for each and every person, irrespective of their designation, is time. So time is the maximum 24 hours we have per day. So therefore, we cannot complete all the tasks in an organization by a single person, even though he is an entrepreneur, or even though he is the owner of the business. So therefore, we have to get the support from the other people. That's why we are recruiting and selecting people for different job designations in our company, because even though we are really capable enough to do all activities, even though we believe that we have knowledge, skills, and attitudes, but practically it is impossible to cover all these things. So what are the 6 steps of successful delegation? So therefore, I would like to remind you, like, for successful delegation, initially we have to design the task. Then we have to explain that task to the team that we have already assigned. And then we have to make sure whether the task is comfort or familiar for them to carry out. And then we have to focus on whether their knowledge, skills, and attitudes are sufficient to complete this task. And eventually we should provide resources and the information to perform. And then after, we have to follow up whether they have done a great job or not. So this lesson defined basically create a structured environment, organization structure, which facilitate for to achieve goals, plans, and strategies what we have decided in the previous stages. So in this lesson, we hope to design what is organizing, and what is the relationship between organization structure and organizing function. Because then later we will be identified 6 key elements in organizational structure, such as division of labor, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization and decentralization, and finally formalization. Then we'll be differentiate what are the mechanistic and organic organization. Based on these 6 important elements, we can identify what is the nature of the mechanistic organization, what is the nature of the organic organization, and then finally we'll be discussing the contingency factors, which affect situational factors, which affect on which goes to create, like which to take into account when creating an organization structure. So basically, in this lesson, we'll be discussing like very 6 key elements in organizing like creating organization structure function. Again, I will tell you very key, like key elements, very key 6 elements in creating organization structure will be discussed. So therefore, let's discuss one by one. Okay. Then so after completing this lesson, let's check whether we have achieved these intended learning outcomes. Just read right now will not make a sense for you since you're not familiar with this topic. So as I told you, organizing is like grouping people and activities or like arranging and structuring work to accomplish organization goal. So therefore, definitely it's simply how best we can group people and activities is the main concern or a simple idea. So organization structure is a formal arrangement of job, and finally it create a visual representation called organization chart. So creating organization structure, the result is organization chart. So therefore organization design is a process involving like decision about creating this organization structure. So basically when likewise you try to understand creating organization structure, like simply like organization structure, organization chart are like similar words, but anyhow very important thing that you have taken into account is 6 key elements that I have listed here. Work specialization, there is another word for like division of labor, division of labor, similar word, work specialization, division of labor, like like employee specialization, all are similar word. And then departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization and decentralization and formalization. Let's discuss one by one. So what is the purpose of organizing, like basically organize, because because this organizing function is comprised, as I told you earlier, creating organization structure, managing human resources, and creating and managing groups and teams. So simply organizing is like how best we can group people and activities. So organization structure is a formal arrangement or a formal establishing formal relationship between job position. Organization structure is a formal arrangement of the relationship between job positions. So anyhow, when we talk about purpose of organizing, it divide work to be done into specific jobs and departments. So when you look at the organization structure, organization chart, you can see different job position with different departments. And then easily from the when we group people and activities, we can assign tasks and responsibilities with the individual job. We can coordinate diverse organizational stack, like if we have different department, we can coordinate these activities among the department, and we can cluster jobs into units, like we can cluster jobs into different department. Within the department, we can create different units, such as let's say under human resource management department, we can create a unit called training unit. We can create a unit called performance evaluation unit. We can create a unit called employee recruitment and selection unit. So likewise, within the department, we can create units when we do departmentalization, then establish relationship among individuals, group, and department. We can show the interconnection between departments and individual employees, and like it establish formal line of authority, because since job position are created, because in an organization structure, it shows the relationship between job position. So therefore, when we create a job position, automatically the legitimate power or a personal power is created. So therefore, we can establish formal line of authority, and then once we create job position, and once we create the reporting relationship between job position, then organization structure, then it is easy for us to allocate and deploy this organization resource. The simple way, like these are the advantages of organizing, purpose of organizing, or pros of organizing. So actually, these are like simply these are, don't believe these are the purposes, advantages, importance. Like in an examination, don't tell means did not teach importance of organizing, like advantages of organizing. Both are same. Like purposes mean like advantages and importance. Okay. then my kind request is don't limit to only these purposes. Try to go beyond, like try to find more. When talk about work specialization, the very first component of organization structure. So again, I will tell you organization structure is a formal arrangement of job positions, formal arrangement of the relationship between job positions in an organization. If you want, you can write down. Formal arrangement of job positions, formal arrangement of job positions, formal arrangement of the job, formal arrangement of the relationship between job position, formal arrangement of the relationship between job position in an organization. Formal arrangement of the relationship between job position in an organization. So it is a definition for organization structure, right? Then work specialization mean, like you may have heard about this term before, like it is a degree to which tasks in an organization are divided into separate jobs. Like we will break the entire task into like manageable components, and then we assign a set of employees. Then we assign set of employees to complete the task. Then we assign a set of employees to complete the task. So simply when people are doing the same thing over a long period of time, they will become specialized, and eventually they will like eventually like they will become experts in that domain. Then the productivity of them will be increased. So why organization use for specialization, especially for efficiency and to increase the productivity? So basically, organization want to increase their productivity, like they want to use the minimum resources and to get the maximum output. So therefore, in basic objective is to increase productivity and efficiency. Why diseconomies of work specialization happen when work become more specialized? Like even though we ask employee to do a certain job over a long period of time, like we know when we do the same thing, the boring nature will be created. Bored. That means employees are not satisfied with the thing. Like it is a human nature, right? People are not like to do the same thing over a long period of time. So therefore, my dear student, when they do same thing over a long period of time, like at the initial stage, at the growing stage, their productivity will be increased. So once they reach to the peak level, their productivity will be declined because they boredom and they fatigue, stress, and it goes to create low productivity and poor quality. අපි උනත් එකම දේ ගොඩාක් දවසක් කරනකොට අපිට එපා වෙලා අන්තිමට අපේ අර productivity එක නැති වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා therefore the implication is like if organization decide to go with work specialization, even though they have assigned employee for a certain department, but better to shift that employee after 2 years period or 3 years period to another department to maintain the productivity of them, because then employee will learn new things in a new department, and again their productivity will be increased. So therefore that's why job rotation is a very important treatment to remove the diseconomies of work specialization. So therefore that strategy should be adapted. So look at this graph. Diseconomies of scale, like initial stage, the productivity will be increased. At this stage, like they will become experts, their productivity will be increased. So when they become to the peak level, so even though with the passing time, their productivity will decline, because after this point, my dear student, the stress and they like boring nature within their career will create for lower productivity. So that's why after this place, organization should introduce job rotation for the relevant employees. So the second important element is departmentalization. So departmentalization mean like, as I told you, organizing is grouping people and activities. So therefore, under departmentalization, we can create different departments. We can create group people according to their expert level. Like HR people can put under HR umbrella. Marketing employees can put under marketing umbrella. So when we create different departments, then they will become functional specialists, and they will do their activities in a successful manner. So therefore, organizations should decide which departmentalization appropriate for them. There are many more forms like functional, product, geographical process, that we can create a department based on functions like HR, marketing, sales, IT, likewise. Then product-wise also we can group jobs like product A department, product B department, product C department, and geographical location-wise like branch A, branch B. Like when you look at the banks like BOZ in Ragama, BOZ in Kandana, BOZ in Gampaha. So likewise, geographically you can create department. And process departmentalization mean like you are grouping jobs according to the process. Like when you look at the apparel sector, then apparel sector, fabric cutting department, then sewing department, ironing department, packing department, logistic department. So likewise, process, the entire manufacturing process or task like product completion process cascade into different steps and assign people. So you should, if the process is very important, if the steps of each process is very important, better to go for with process departmentalization. If your customers scattered in a very large geographical area, better to go with geographical departmentalization. If your company is producing only 2 or 3 products which are very critical for the sustainability of your business or survival of your business, better to go with product departmentalization. So if you have functional experts, especially like head officers, they are using functional departmentalization. And very important, like very famous type is customer departmentalization. Because of globalization now business are mushrooming, so therefore there is a high competition in the different industries. So therefore customer wise, if we can create departments, highly appreciate. Very good example, like in a bank, within a bank there is a customer departmentalization. So there are different sections for pawning section, saving account section, FD section, loan section. So different customers according to their requirement, they will go to the different divisions, different units. So these departments are being created considering the customers. When we think about school also, customer departmentalization, grade 1 customer, grade 2 customer, grade 3 customer. So likewise, because we know like grade 1 students are very important for a school, grade 2, 3, 4. So therefore, according to the customer, we have designed 13 departments starting from grade 1 to grade 13. So you should decide which one is more appropriate. But in a school, in an office, there is a functional departmentalization. Like if it is a private school, but government no need that much. But if it's a private school, we since we want to engage in promotional activities within the office of the school, we can go with functional department. But when you look at the entire school as a whole, therefore we can go with customer departmentalizations. In reality, my dear student, when we think about an organization, there is no only one type of department, it's a combination. So in a school also, inside the office, functional. When you look at the school from helicopter view, bird eye, customer departmentalization. So therefore, in reality, in an organization, there is a combination. So when you look at thumb row manufacturing side, process departmentalization, like cutting, sewing, lacquering, fixing, finishing, likewise. Then when you look at the outlets, geographical departmentalization, Dambro, Vattala, Dambro, Ragama, likewise. So when you look at the head office, functional departmentalizations. So likewise, always in reality, there is a combination of departments. So therefore, you should decide which combination you are going to take into account. Then I have given like functional departmentalization. Here plus mark mean positives and minus mark negative. When you look at functional departmentalization, like positive mean like advantages, we can get the experts knowledge, but negative side is like work communication across functional area, because since we focus on only our area, HR area, we are not focusing on marketing. So therefore, they have their own very selfish agenda they are running when there's a functional departmentalization. Then geographical also, like basically advantages. Geographically, we can specific geographical issues can be sorted. But duplication of function, because let's say when we think about HR side, HR manager is required for BOC Ragama as well as BOC Kandar. So therefore, HR function is duplicate, can feel isolated from other organization area. Like let's say when BOC in Trikomali sometime, Mulativ, they may feel like they have isolated. So therefore, that kind of issues are there. So I won't read one by one since time is a limiting factor. I just want to tell you my destination. I have given example here. Plus mean advantages, minus mean disadvantages of each function. Then product departmentalization. Product-wise, as I told you, in here, product-wise, like advantages mean allow specialization in particular product and services. we can closer to customer, because like customers who are using that product, we can focus them in a very intense manner. Then duplication of function and limited view of organizational goals, because as I told you, product A also needed HR manager, product B also needed HR manager, or product A needed sales manager. Likewise, duplication of function can be happen. Then process departmentalization as well as customer departmentalization also I have given here. Like process departmentalization, look at sawing, planning, assembling, lacquering, finishing, and inspection. So likewise, this is a process departmentalization. More efficient flow of work activities can only be used with certain type of product. But like why we can use only with certain type of product? Because if there is no a very rigor process for each product, then we cannot use process departmentalization. Customer departmentalization is a highly used and very famous in today's context, because like we can especially like focus on customer needs and problems. We can satisfy their requirement. Duplication of function can be happen, but anyhow, this is somewhat a very important, because customer is very important, because today, because of globalization, today business are mushrooming. What is the today's view of departmentalization? So when you look at today's view, like most large organization, as I told you, use combination of most of these type. Like Bambro, as I told you, like in the manufacturing department, there is a process departmentalization, but sales outlet wise, geographical departmentalization, etc. So one popular departmentalization, as I told you, is customer departmentalization. Why it is important? Because when we cater the requirement of the customer by knowing their needs and wants correctly, we can retain them in our product. So therefore, like another popular trend is cross-functional team. Like cross-functional teams, like not having when there's a project, we are appointing one guy from HR, marketing, sales. Likewise, cross-functional team also one of a very important consideration. Then the other one is what is the main benefit of using cross-functional team? Basically, we can use their expertise for the different projects. See, because when we appoint a team with different experts, then they will give their level best to complete that project successfully. Then the other one is the third important factor is like chain of command. Chain of command explain like simply the ordering, because we know like when we create an organization structure, we have a boss. So boss is giving order. This order cannot be broken from top to down. So when we create an organization structure, the command, this command, giving command should like a chain. It should not break at the middle of the structure. It should start from start to down. It should be unbroken. So chain of command is a line of authority. Like authority means the personal power vested in the job position or a legitimate power. So therefore, this chain of command should not be broken in the organization structure. So when we like chain of command, when we create organization structure, we should know to whom we are report, who are our co-workers, and who are our direct reports. That means subordinate. To understand chain of command, we have to understand three important concepts. Let's look at what are they: um, authority, responsibility, and unity of command. So we have to focus on these three important concepts under chain of command. Authority means, as I told you, it's a personal power. Another word for authority is positional power vested in the job position. Authorities, the personal power we are given, and because of the personal power, responsibilities are created. Right. Responsibility means like we are obliged to perform our activities, assigned duties. Then unity of command mean like we should have only one boss. But in today's context, unity of that means command should be given by a one person. That's called unity of command. But in today, this concept is no more valid, because unity of command is no more valid today. Because my dear student, like we are not accepting since because of technology. We know like we can work with more projects. So when we talk about myself as a Dr. Michelle in the Department of HR in University of California, I'm under the control of head of the department, Dr. Saroja, as well as currently I am work in the ISO committee. So I am under the control, under the guidance of Professor Janadari. So therefore I am dealing, I have two bosses. So I can do all these things with the technology. So we are conducting these, we are discussing about this project with Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So therefore, technology facilitate to work with more projects, with more bosses than before. So therefore, unity of command is no more valid. We don't have only one boss. We have many boss. Like since we are in the different projects, we are working with two or more bosses in the same job. So it is required. It is a reality. So therefore, unity of command is no more valid in today's context, but authority and responsibility can be accepted. So when you look at, as I told you, like unity of command it is not 100% accepted by your organization, because as I told you, because of the technology, we can deal with many projects, we can deal with many bosses. So therefore, that unity of command is no more valid. So this is the explanation what I have given. The same thing what I have told you in this slide. Okay. Then authority I have explained like personal power. It's like personal power mean like it create because of our job position. Because I have personal power, not because I am Michelle, not because I am Dr. Michelle, because I am a senior lecturer. So therefore, what are the two primary characteristics of authorities? It is delegated downward to the lower level managers, like because authority is vested in the job position. Like we know like authority, personal power. කෙනෙක්ගේ තනතුරු බලය තියෙන ඔහුගේ රැකියා තනතුර තුල මිෂෙල් තුල නෙමෙයි පුතේ තියෙන සීනියර් ලෙක්චරර් වීම තුලයි මට අධිකාරී බලයක් තියෙන්නේ. මිෂෙල් වීම තුල නෙමෙයි. තනතුරු බලය තියෙන එක අධිකාරී බලය තියෙන්නේ කෙනෙක්ගේ රැකියා තනතුරක. ඒ වගේම this authority is like flow from top to down. What is mean by acceptance theory of authority by Chester Bernard? එතකොට Chester Bernard කියලා කියනවා. Like this authority are two type, like line authority and staff authority. So I'll be discussing this line authority and staff authority at the second part of this recording. So I'll conclude the first part of this recording, and I will continue this lesson. And the remaining 30 minutes will continue. Like as the second part of this recording, like then once I started the second part, I will be discussing like line authority and staff authority with you. I will differentiate these two. So until that, have a nice day to my student.